Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit. And Dave Chappelle spoke about that as a comedian. Black actors always, being asked to wear dresses. Have you ran into that? And what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people put out there about that?
Well, thanks for that softball question. It's two answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Yeah.
But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times.
Right.
I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
Another great comedian said that, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning.
You look
said
good
no to
doing
that. Not that that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? A prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. The pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? We're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? Oh, gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers come on, David would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? It's like, so.
It's very personal for you.
Yes,
it's
it
very
is.
emotional. It's something you've talked about for years. Let me start by asking you, how prevalent is what you're talking about in Hollywood today?
I believe there's a lot of darkness in Hollywood right now, and I believe it's been there for quite some time. And as we've seen with the Harvey Weinstein scandal, it continues to unfold. New names come forward every day. Now there's names of misconduct with Kevin Spacey, with this, child actor who came forward today. It's going to continue unraveling. This is just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg. So everything you're seeing is building up to what I believe is going to be a dam breaking open.
So let me talk about this Corey's Truth effort. You want to raise $10 million. You want to produce and direct this documentary.
It's not a documentary.
It's a
I
film.
need to stop you there. It is a film. I want to make a feature film, which is why we need the budget that we need. There's actors, there's scripts, there's special
Is it going
effects,
to involve
visual
real
effects.
people, real names of people active in Hollywood right now?
It will be a very true story. We will have every name that everybody that affected my life. I'm going to give the perspective that I can give, what I viewed, what I experienced from a first-hand account.
In all fairness, though, we've been down this road before with you, and you have promised in the past to name names.
Never.
In your book, you said when you were talking about your book, you said you were going to blow the lid
And
off.
this is why I'm doing this, because when I wrote my book, the publishers prevented me from writing the names
That's
down.
what I meant by
They
we were
made me
down this
choose the
road
names.
before.
Yeah.
We didn't get the names
Exactly.
we were promised last time.
Which is why I'm taking the matter into my own hands, and this is why I need America's support. I need the world's support, because I must make a film with no executives, no VPs,
But why do you
no
need
lawyers.
$10 million? Film students make movies for fractions.
Well, that's a film student. We're talking about a theatrical release. We're talking about I'm going to four-wall the theaters, I'm going to self-distribute, self-market, make the film, and hire a team of attorneys who are going to protect me and the film when everybody comes
To
after
date,
me. once
you've
the names
raised
are
just
released.
under $200,000, correct?
Okay.
Is that about right? So it's going to take a long time to raise $10 million.
We've got 2 months.
And
yeah.
you've just told me that this is still prevalent in Hollywood. So every day you wait, every day you try to raise money, I would imagine you believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Who you said, by the way, did not abuse you.
Who Michael was innocent, and that was what the interview was about with the police in 1993. I told them he is not that guy, and they said, well, maybe you just don't understand your friend. And I said, no, I know the difference between pedophiles and somebody who's not a pedophile because I've been molested. Here's the names. Go investigate. And let me push this forward. There are thousands of people in Hollywood who have this same information. Why is it all on me? Why is it if I don't release the names in the next 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I'm the bad guy? I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and do something about it.
But
Hold on, please, I'm sorry. There are thousands of people out there, Matt, who have this information. Any one of those child actors that went to the teenage soda pop clubs with me when I was a kid know who those people are and the people who ran it. Anybody can go back through history and look at the teen magazines and say, what was the name of that venue they were all promoting and who ran that venue and who endorsed it?
You've said you've had death threats.
Yes.
Because you have this information
Yes.
and have threatened to expose it. Another reason, I think, to go to police, that's a crime to threaten someone's life.
I've gone to the police with that as well.
And what would be wrong with going to the police now again, Didn't work out in Santa
There's a
Barbara.
statute of limitations, Matt, in the state of California, which protects people. It's not that way in New York. It's that way only where the movie industry is, conveniently enough, in California. That's the seriousness of this. You cannot, because if I were to go to the police, I would be the one who's getting sued. Henceforth, I need a team of lawyers and I need a team of security to be around me at all times to keep me safe so I can get this message done.
Real
I'm not
quickly.
playing around. It's serious stuff, and I vow I will release every single name that I have any knowledge of, period. And nobody's going to stop me this time, as long as people support this.
Corey Feldman.
Passed away in 2005. Where was his and Paul's relationship at that time?
Well, from JoJo Dancer on, the relationship became fragile
Okay.
because Paul Mooney had Richard's son by that time,
Okay.
and he violated. And that's any man, if you violate their children like that. So Paul took advantage of the situation. And so from there on, whatever Paul Mooney was to Richard, and there was a time that Paul Mooney was Richard's friend. You know, I acknowledge that, which is why the gay community really couldn't say anything they attempted to about Richard, because Paul Mooney was his friend. And they laughed. So when Paul did what he did, it was a violation of friendship first, and then my son, you know.
Right.
And in some circles, that's supposed to be dealt with. So.
Was there ever a conversation to retaliate against that?
Yes, yeah, of course.
To what extent?
To the extent of Richard didn't want him on the planet no more. He shared it with me, and he said he wanted somebody killed. And Richard, that wasn't his conversation, so I just attribute that he must be high right now. And you know, it's Friday. This is the high day, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's, you know, by Wednesday he'll be straight, because I knew the pattern. And I asked him again, because Richard never spoke like that. And I just said, do you remember what you said to me last week? And he was on it so clear. It was like, okay, it's serious. And so then I asked him, what is it about? He said, $1 million. I want somebody killed. And I was like, damn, I'm not a killer. I'm not that person. But I did give it thought. I know some people, some damn where.
Okay.
You know. And the biggest problem with those people would have been you saying $1 million to them, because they would have did it for like 10 grand.
Right.
And so I asked him, what was it about?
And this is your first time hearing about the incident?
This was the first, when he told me the first time, I thought he was high. I just made that high conversation. But because he was so adamant about it, I asked him again that Wednesday, and then he went into detail, and that's when he told me what went on. And he told me who did it, and he was hurt by it.
Yeah.
He was hurt because it happened to his son, and he was really hurt, which I don't think Paul Mooney understood, because someone that I took as a friend did that to me.
Right.
The mystery of her father's murder has loomed over Kiddist Forsyth. In 1993, Bulik Forsyth was a manager in the housing department of London's Lambeth Council. 3 months before she was born, he was bludgeoned to death and his flat set on fire. Now Sky News has seen evidence that he could have been about to expose an alleged paedophile ring operating within council premises.
There are some factors that point to him knowing something that was going on at work, and he was getting ready to blow the whistle.
At the time, this Crime Watch reconstruction appealed for information. Now, this murder is one of the events Metropolitan Police officers looking into Westminster-linked abuse are re-investigating. This internal council report, obtained by Sky News, could be key. It details allegations of violent rapes conducted on council premises and the sexual abuse of children. It's here, at what is still the headquarters for Lambeth's housing department, that a paedophile ring operating within the council is alleged to have carried out sexual assaults. They used the basement, the report says, where they could rape victims without fear of being interrupted. And the report cites new witness evidence suggesting Bulik Forsyth may indeed have been killed as part of a cover-up. He tried to get away from the housing department, telling colleagues he had information which put him at risk. Our investigation has unearthed some extraordinary allegations, but a senior detective told me they've always been taken seriously by the police, but this is their first chance at being properly investigated. That's something the family of Bulik Forsyth told me they welcome.
Honestly, it's worse. I can't believe some of the stuff that's in here. I can't believe actually happened and has just gone under the radar and hasn't been investigated and looked into. Like, I was very shocked to read this.
This is the first time Kiddist has seen written in black and white what she's always suspected.
It says there that he was willing to spill the beans and he was scared that if he moved to another department that people in power could still get to him. So it seems that he was very fearful about something going on at work.
The significance of events that took place in Lambeth 2 decades ago are only now becoming clear. In a statement, the council said it was working closely with the police and is determined to do all it can to ensure perpetrators of abuse are brought to justice.